Hey, what's up guys? So in this video I want to talk about 100 tips and tricks that you can do with Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. So let's get started, and the first thing that I want to talk about is connected devices. So go in settings. Here you will see your connected devices. Go in here. So here you can go through settings of quick share, which allows you to share data between Samsung devices or Galaxy devices very quickly. It's ultra fast. You've got music share, so you can do that with your friends. We've got auto switch buds. So if you have multiple Samsung Galaxy devices running on the same Samsung account, you can set up your Galaxy buds to switch between them seamlessly if you start using one device after putting down another. You have call and text on other devices, so this allows you to call and text on your laptop via your Galaxy phone. We've got continue on other apps. Then we have camera sharing. So you can use this phone's camera as a webcam for a nearby Galaxy tablet. So that's amazing as well. If you have a Galaxy tablet, you can use your Galaxy S24 Ultra's rear camera as a webcam. We have got link to Windows, so you can connect your phone to your Windows laptop. We've got multi-control, so if you go in here, you can see that you can use the keyboard and mouse connected to one Galaxy device to control all your other Galaxy devices and drag and drop files between them, which is fantastic. Again, we've got Samsung Dex settings in here. We've got Smart View. You can project your phone screen on your smart TV. This allows you to control your Galaxy watches and Galaxy Buds, smart things for smart home and Android Auto. Next thing I want to talk about is modes and routines. So this allows you to create modes for yourself. So we have a sleep mode here. So this sleep mode basically turns on the do not disturb feature, the dark mode. You can add more features in here, so you can restrict app usage if you want, and you can actually play around with these modes, what you need from them exactly, and what other actions you want this mode to do. You can do that as well from here. And then you can also change the appearance of the phone, of the lock screen, home screen, and if you have a Galaxy watch, you can do that for the watch face as well. Then the other really cool thing here is the routines. So if you go in routines, you can create an if this then that kind of a routine here. So if you tap on the plus button, you can select a trigger. If this trigger happens, then what will happen? So you can select the trigger here. So you have a lot of options here. It just goes on and on. So for example, if we select driving, then what will happen? So you can go through this, you can create your routines and automate your processes on your Galaxy S24 Ultra. Next up, you can create a custom sound profile for your ears, and for that you need to go in sounds and vibration, go all the way down, and then go in sound quality and effects. Here you will see this option called adapt sound, and of course you can turn on Dolby Atmos here, Dolby Atmos for gaming. You can go through equalizer, but this is the really cool thing here. Here you can create your own personalized sound profile. You can go in here, turn this on, and here it tells you exactly what it does. Here you can select adapt sound for media or calls, or just media or just calls. Then you can either select your age or your age profile, or you can add personalized sound profile here. And to go through this, you have to put on your Galaxy Buds or your headphones, and then just go through these instructions, and it will create a customized sound profile for your ears, which is great. Next up, we have separate app sound. So you can use one app from this phone from where the sound or media will play on another device, not on this phone. So you have to select an app and an audio device. So if we go in here, let's say we select YouTube, and then you can actually select multiple apps here. So go back, and now you have to select whether the sound from this app will play on the phone or on a Bluetooth device. So then you can go on the Bluetooth device, you can connect your speakers. So whenever your speaker is connected to your phone and you turn on YouTube, the sound output will be that speaker for YouTube. It will not play out of this phone. So that's separate app sound, which is great. Moving along, I want to talk about the notifications on this phone. So go in settings, go in notifications, and here you will see this option, notification pop-up style. So here you can select between brief and detailed, and then a really cool feature down here called edge lighting style. So if you go down here, you can see how your notifications will show up here, and then you can choose the lighting style. It will light up the edges of your phone, and here you can select different patterns and designs, like wave pattern that will show up around the notification. You can really play around with this. You can change the color, and it shows you exactly how your notification will look like when you get it. Display edge, then you can go in advanced. You can play around with transparency, width, duration of all these things. So if you increase the width, it shows up really clearly around the edge of the display. Moving on, we have advanced settings. So in advanced settings, we have a lot of options, but there are a few things that I want to talk about. The first one here is notification history. So if you have got a notification and you swipe it away, but you want to get it back, or you want to see which notifications you got on your phone in case you were not able to see them, you can go in notification history, turn this on, and all your previous notifications will show up here. Another thing that I want to talk about here is floating notifications. So you can go in here, you can set up bubbles, so your notifications will show up as bubbles and you can tap and expand them. Or you have smart pop-up view, and here you can include apps. So this can be really helpful for apps like WhatsApp and messages. So when you get a WhatsApp message, it will show up as a bubble here, and you can tap on it to expand it in a small window like it shows here. And one last important thing that I want to show you here is repeat notification alerts. So you can turn this feature on. You can set your phone to vibrate or sound an alert at specific intervals. So you can select the apps that you want to do this for, and you can select the repeat interval after every 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So if some apps are important for you and you want to make sure that you don't miss their notifications, you can set up repeat notification alerts for those apps. Now on Galaxy S24 Ultra, we also get 120 Hz refresh rate for the display, and you can turn it on by going in settings and then go in display, and here you will see this option motion smoothness. Go in here. Now the 120 Hz option is in adaptive, so it will adapt between 1 Hz and 120 Hz, I believe, if I'm not wrong. Based on what you're doing on your display, on your phone, it will switch between these frequencies. But if you select standard, it will be just stuck on 60 Hz. Now, if you set it to adaptive, your phone will use up more battery. But in adaptive, you get much smoother animations, much smoother scrolling. It's great once you get used to it. The standard feature will just feel slow to you. Next up, you can also set up adaptive color tone, where the display of your phone will adapt to the ambient lighting of your surroundings. So if I turn this off, you will see an immediate difference in the display color and display warmth. So right now it's a little bit warm. If I turn it off, it goes all white. So you can turn this on and your display will adapt to your ambient lighting conditions. Next up, we have font size and style. So you can go in here, you can select the font style here. You can even download more fonts if you want. And then you can also bold these fonts and it will appear like this. And then there is the size that you can select if you want. So this comes down to your personal preferences. Moving along, we have screen resolution here. So in screen resolution, you can go to Full HD or even QHD plus, which is really sharp, and trust me, it will use up a lot of battery on your phone as well. You can use it with adaptive smoothness to get the maximum out of this display, because it's a gorgeous display. And if you want this, go along and enjoy your display, because that's what you paid for. Another really cool thing here is the camera cutout feature. So you can hide this camera cutout if you don't like it. So simply go in camera cutout. Here you can select apps in which you want to hide this camera cutout, or you don't want to hide this camera cutout, you want to go full screen. So let's say we go in Play Store and we select hide camera cutout, and then if I will launch the Play Store, you can see that I have a black bar on the top here which hides the camera cutout. Now I can go back and go in here and I can select show camera cutout or auto, whatever I will select. This will now be in full screen. Moving on, let's talk about the edge panels here. So I have got an edge panel here. So there we go. You can set up these edge panels according to what you want to see here. So go in edge panels, first turn this feature on, and then you have got the panels. You can select between different panels, and if that's not enough, you can download more, but you have got some basic ones here. So you've got your clipboard here, reminder, music, tasks, people, tools, weather, smart select, and your basic apps. Now you can also customize the handle for this edge panel, you can change the color of the handle. You can change the transparency, so now it's really transparent, or in this way it shows up as a solid color. So you can play around with it. You can increase or decrease the size, the length, and the width of this handle as well. And then you can also select vibrate when the handle is touched to make sure that you are swiping in from the right position. Moving on, we have accidental touch protection here. So if you turn this feature on, you can protect your phone from accidental touches when it's in a dark place such as your pocket or in a bag. So very self-explanatory. Moving on, we have touch sensitivity feature, which you can turn on, and it will increase the sensitivity of the display to your touch even if you are using a screen protector, which I am using here. So I have this turned on and it will not affect the sensitivity of the display even with the screen protector. And finally, one more thing that I want to talk about in display is navigation bar. So if you go in here, you get the option between buttons. So like I have them here, so you can go in more options, you can switch the sequence of the buttons like this one here, or you have the option to swipe gestures. So if you select swipe gestures, you then have a different option. So it's swipe up to go home, swipe up and hold to go to your recents display, and then swipe in from the right or left edge to go one step back. On Galaxy S24 Ultra, there is also a power saving option which actually goes into granular controls. So go in settings, go in battery, and here you will see power saving. Go in here and here you will see, if I turn this on, how much battery life I can get out of this phone from 44% battery, and what it will do to save or conserve battery. It will turn off the always on display. It will limit CPU speed to 70%, decrease brightness by 10%, and if I want, I can also turn off 5G. Then there is limit apps and home screen option, and if I turn it on, it will do maximum power saving, allow only selected apps, limit all background activity, turn off edge panels, and change to dark theme. So it will do all that to conserve battery. Then if you want some more control over your battery, you can go in background usage limits, and here you can put unused apps to sleep or deep sleep. You can see your deep sleeping apps here. You can add more apps from this plus button at the top here. So these apps will be in deep sleeping mode and they will not use any battery in the background. Next very important feature is battery protection. So we know that when we charge our batteries over time, our batteries degrade. So for that, we have this really cool, really amazing feature, and Samsung has expanded on this feature actually, because previously there was just one option where it limited your charging to 80% or 85%, and you could not go beyond that. But now there are levels to battery protection. So if you go in here, you can see that we've got 3 levels now, which is basic, adaptive, and maximum. Previously, we only had this option maximum, where it will stop charging your phone when it reaches 80%. But now we have basic. So what it will do is that when your battery is charged to 100%, charging will stop until the battery levels drop down to 95%, and then charging will start again. And then we have adaptive, which is basically when you're asleep, it will go to maximum level, and when you will wake up, it will go to basic level. So it will switch between basic and maximum level based on your sleeping times. Moving on, we also have wireless power sharing in Galaxy S24 Ultra. So you can go in here, you can turn this feature on, and then you can use your S24 Ultra's battery to charge other devices like another phone, your Galaxy Buds, your Galaxy Watch. You can do that with this, and you can actually set up a battery limit here. So once your phone's battery reaches 30%, this feature will turn off. You can obviously select this level much higher. Did you know that you also get AI generated wallpapers on Galaxy S24 Ultra? Well, not exactly, but it's a version of it. You can go in settings, go in wallpapers and style, and then go in change wallpapers, and here go in creative. If you go in here, you get 2 options, generative and photo ambient. Now let's go in generative here. Now this is where all the fun happens. You have got these basic wallpapers. All these different types of wallpapers are here. You can select one wallpaper, and then here you can change these options. So abstract, sign, mountain, with clouds. Let's change it to white, mountains, let's select sand dunes, and then clouds, select to ice. I'm just playing around with it, and then tap on generate, and based on the options that I've selected, it will create few options for me, and then I can set them as a wallpaper. Moving on, you can also hide apps on this phone. So go in settings, go in home screen, and here you will see this option, hide apps on home and apps screen. So go in here, select any app that you want, and then you can simply hide it. So if I select Asphalt 9, save, go back, go and let's search for Asphalt 9. I can't find it because now it's hidden from search as well. Moving on, there is one more option here that I want to talk about, and it is swipe down for notification panel. Now this only works if you're on the home screen or on any of the home screens. So if you swipe down, it will pull down the notification panel and you can swipe up. Moving on, let's talk about some really cool lock screen tips. So go in settings, go in lock screen, and here you will see this option called extend unlock. You can turn this feature on, and what it will do is that as long as the phone detects that it's on your body, that it's with you, it's in one of the trusted places like in your home or in your work or in your car, or it's connected to a trusted device like your Galaxy Watch or your Buds or your tablet or something like that, the phone will stay unlocked. But as soon as the phone detects that none of these conditions are fulfilled, it will lock itself. Now another really important feature that I want to show you here is in secure lock settings. Go in here, and here you will see if you want to make your patterns visible. You have a lot of other settings options here, but I want to talk about this option here, show lockdown option. So what this is, it is a power button option that turns off extend unlock, biometrics unlock, and notifications on the lock screen. So if you turn this feature on and you tap and hold the power button, you will see this lockdown mode. What this will do is that it will turn off the extend unlock. If you don't have extend unlock turned on, what it will do is that it will disable the biometrics option. So if I tap on it, it will lock the display, and now I don't have the fingerprint option. I have to put in the pattern, or if you have selected pin, you'll have to put in the pin or password. Next up, we have always on display on this phone. So here you can go in always on display, and here one really cool thing that I want to talk about is an iPhone-esque feature that they have added here, where if you turn this feature on, it will show you your wallpaper even in always on display mode. So if I turn this off, right now this is my always on display. And then finally we have widgets here, so you can select different widgets to show up in your lock screen. So you can select music, alarm, your today's schedule, weather, routines, digital well-being, smart things, Galaxy Buds Pro Manager, and voice recorder. So if you lock the screen, tap on it, it will show you these widgets and you can see them on the lock screen. You can also set up Galaxy S24 Ultra so that it can be tracked even when it's offline or it's not connected to the internet. And for that you need to go in settings, then go in security and privacy, and here go in lost device protection, and here you can turn on offline finding. Now if you go in here, you can read about it, how it does it, and you can also encrypt your offline location. Next, there is this feature called auto blocker. So it keeps your phone safe by blocking threats and other suspicious activity. So if you go in here, you can turn this feature on, you can read all about it here. You can set up messaging app protection and block software updates by USB cable. So it's all up to you. So it blocks apps from unauthorized sources and turns on app security checks, blocks commands by USB cable. So any suspicious activity going on your phone will be detected by this feature and it will block it. We also have permission manager here, which is something that you need to really understand in order to use this feature. So in permission manager, you can see all the different things and features of your phone. So things like body sensors, calendars, call logs, camera, contacts. So all the important things in your phone. And then it tells you how many apps are allowed to access these features. So example, calendar, 15 out of 32 apps are allowed to access calendar. 15 out of 18 apps are allowed to access call logs. Now you can tap here and you can see exactly which apps are accessing your call logs. And if you want, you can simply go in here and you can remove the permission from here. Now you can also go in additional privacy controls where you will see camera access and microphone access, and you can turn this off at any time. You can also do the same from a quick settings panel. So you will find camera access and microphone access in the quick settings panel or quick shortcuts, and then you can turn them off from here as well. If we go into more security settings, here you will find a lot of other features. So if we go in secure folder, you can turn on the secure folder, and as you know, you can have totally separate profile in your secure folder. You can have separate apps, you can have separate documents, files, everything in a secure folder. It's an alternate secure vault in your phone where you can have your important stuff. Then you have secure Wi-Fi. So in secure Wi-Fi, you have this feature here where you can protect your Wi-Fi for up to 1 gigabytes every month for free, but if you want more, you have to subscribe to this, and then there is $3 fee for this feature. And you can also turn on auto protect Wi-Fi, so public Wi-Fi protection will be given to your phone whenever you connect to public Wi-Fi. Then there are things like enhanced data protection. So in enhanced data protection, you can encrypt your backup data or your sync data. There is Samsung Pass here. So in Samsung Pass, you can have your payment cards, your credit card, debit cards, your memberships, your coupons, digital keys, health passes, boarding passes. You can all have it in Samsung Pass. You can have your sign-in info, private info, all of that in one place. Then we have SIM card security. You can also lock your SIM card, so it will require your SIM card pin to unlock and use your SIM card every time you turn your phone on or restart your phone. Next up, you can also set up your medical information and SOS alerts. So go in safety and emergency in settings. Here you can add your medical information, name, conditions, anything that's worth adding, you can add here. And then you can set up your emergency contacts here. Then there is this emergency SOS feature. So if you go in here, you can set up this emergency SOS feature. So you have to press the power button 5 times or side button 5 times to launch this emergency SOS. What it will do is that it will call 911. And if you select this feature, send SOS to emergency contacts, it will also send your SOS to your emergency contacts in addition to 911. And if you go in emergency sharing, you can then also select your 2 contacts here that you want to send the emergency SOS, and then whether you want to attach pictures and audio recording as well with the message. Otherwise, it will just send your location and that you are in an emergency situation. If you live in a region where earthquakes are frequent, you can also turn on earthquake alerts. You can see supported countries here, and then you can turn this feature on, and every time there is a warning, you will get that alert here. Then there are unknown tracker alerts. So if there is an unknown tracker like Samsung Galaxy tag or an Apple AirTag is following you, someone has put it in your car or in your luggage or whatever, you will get an alert that there is an unknown tracker which is following you, and then you can actually scan and find that unknown tracker where it is. You can make it beep or something like that. So when alerts are on, you will get a notification if an unknown tracker is detected traveling with you. Alerts are deleted after 48 hours. So there you go. From here you can turn on the unknown tracker alerts. From here you can also turn on wireless emergency alerts. So extreme threats of some kind, severe threats of some kind, amber alerts, test alerts, and how it will alert you, vibration, alert reminder, or you can also set it up to speak the alert message. If you go in accounts and backup, you can back up your data, and you can also restore your data in Samsung Cloud. So if you back up your data, you can select what is it exactly that you want to back up: call logs, messages, contacts, calendar, clock settings, home screen, and apps. And you can also set up auto backup on roaming. And similarly, if you go in restore data, you can select which was the last backup that you want to use and what features or what settings that you want to restore. Next up, you can also turn on smart suggestions on your Galaxy S24 Ultra, and for that go in settings, then go in advanced features, then go in smart suggestions, and here turn it on. Now here you will see that we have Samsung keyboard, calendar, reminder, messages and settings here, and you will get smart suggestions for different things according to these apps. Now the best example of this is in settings. So if you go in any settings, you go all the way down, you see these suggestions. So these are smart suggestions. Similarly, you will get some suggestions to enter a text in Samsung keyboard, verification codes, web addresses and all that stuff. Get suggestions for events to add based on your messages and other activity in calendars. Next up, if you go in labs, you will see that we have different features here. So in here you will see this option, multi-window for all apps. So what this will do is that it will force even the apps that don't by default support pop-up view or split screen view. You can force those apps to open in multi-window. Then you have dark mode apps, so you can push apps into dark mode. So one example here is YouTube. Next up, if you go in S Pen, you will see that there are a lot of features here. So let's start with Air Actions. Air Actions is what you can do on your phone with the help of your S Pen without even touching the display. So you can use this S Pen as a remote. So you can do different things in different apps, and you can go through all of this here. If you press and hold the pen button, it will launch the camera. If you make this gesture, it will go back. This gesture will take you to home screen. This gesture will go to recents. Now in different apps, there are different features. So if you go in gallery, you can see what pressing the button once will do, what pressing the button twice will do, and what all these gestures will do on in gallery. Similarly, you can go in Samsung Internet. So for every app, these gestures mean something else. So you can go through this and you can learn how to use this S Pen. And once you do that, you will be able to use this S Pen as a remote control for your phone. Next up, we have Air Command. And if you go in here, you can select between two menu styles. So there is a compact style. So if I tap on this one, this is how the menu comes up. But if I select standard and tap on it, it will come up in a more detailed menu style. And then we have shortcuts. So you can select what shortcuts appear in this menu. You can add more from here. Down here we have show Air Command icon. So this is the icon here. It's showing on the display. You can turn it off if you want, and then just press the button to launch the menu. Then we also have open Air Command with S Pen button. Now you can obviously open this with the pen button. You can turn this off as well. Then we also have Air View. So there are two features here. You can use your S Pen as a pointer, which you see on the display, and you know exactly where your S Pen is pointing and going towards. Or you can use it as a previewer as well. So if you're in gallery, you can point your S Pen to a certain album or a certain photo, and it will expand it and let you know what are the contents of that album. Moving on, we also have S Pen to text feature here. So in any text bar, you can point your S Pen and just start writing, and it will convert that into text. This is really cool. I have tried it a few times. So where this feature is supported, you will see this option here, and then you can start writing, and it will convert your writing into text. Moving on, we also have screen of memos here. So if you want to quickly take a note on your phone, you don't even have to unlock the phone. You can just pull out your S Pen and press this button, tap on the display, and start writing. And then save it. Then you can pin it, and it will stay on the display on the lock screen for as long as you want. So that way you can have your reminders pinned to your lock screen. Next up, we also have quick notes here. So what this does is that if you press the button on the S Pen and tap on the display twice, it will open up a Samsung Notes window, and here you can quickly take down any note that you want. And once you're done, you can simply save it. You can edit it, whatever you want to do, save as a file or whatever. You can also minimize it and have it there on the display. This is a pop-up window for Samsung Notes, and you can remove it as well. If you go in more S Pen settings, you can use your S Pen to unlock your phone. You can allow multiple S Pens to use on one device if you want to do that. And then we also have keep S Pen connected. So It will stay connected to your phone via Bluetooth if you want to use Air Actions. And one of the most important ones is warn if S Pen is left behind. So if you are leaving your S Pen behind, forgetting about it, your phone will vibrate and alert you that you are leaving behind your S Pen. Next up, we have side button options. So this is the side button here. You can double press it to quick launch camera. You can launch Samsung Wallet, or you can set it up to open any app. So in this case we have flashlight open, so if I double press on it, the flashlight will turn on. Or you can set it up to launch any app by double pressing the side button. Then we also have press and hold. You can set it to turn on the power off menu or wake Bixby. It's up to you, again it's personal preference. Next up we have multi-window, and that's where a lot of fun is. So we have two options here: swipe for split screen. So if I go in here, you can swipe up from the bottom of the display with two fingers and it will launch the split screen or multi-window view, and then you can use two apps side by side. Then we have swipe for pop-up view. So we have got these two corners at the top here. If we swipe in from any one of them, you can launch these apps in pop-up windows, and then tap here to minimize them, maximize them. You can change their transparency, and you can open in split screen view. Now the third option here is full screen in split screen view. If you turn this feature on, the navigation bar will go away in split screen view. So right now we get the navigation bar. If I turn this feature on, the navigation bar goes away. Now here I want to show you one very important feature. You can create app pairs. So right now I have got settings and Play Store. I can tap on it and press on this star button to create this app pair, and then I can add this app pair to either the home screen or the edge panel, apps edge panel. So in this case I'm gonna do home screen, and then I'm gonna do again an apps edge panel. So now if I go in the edge panel, you will see this app pair here. So if I close this, when app go in the edge panel and tap on it, both these apps will launch, and same can be done with this app pair on the home screen. Moving along, we have motions and gestures. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. You have lift to wake up. So as soon as you lift your phone, the screen will wake up. You have double tap to turn on screen. So there's double tap to turn on the screen and double tap to turn off the screen. So I can double tap to turn it on, double tap to turn it off. Alert when phone picked up. So if you have a notification pending on your phone and you pick up your phone, the phone will vibrate to let you know that you have a pending notification. You can mute any calls and alarms by gestures. So you can mute incoming calls and alarms by putting your hand over the screen or turning your phone face down. So if you're getting a call or there's an alarm going on, you can cover the display and it will shut that down, or you can simply turn the phone over and that will do the job as well. And then finally we have palm swipe to capture. This is for screenshots. So you can swipe your palm on the display to capture the screenshot. Next up we have one-handed mode. So if you go in here, you can turn on the one-handed mode by gesture or by button. So right now it's on gesture. So if I just swipe down on the home button, it will launch the one-handed mode. I can increase or decrease the size, and so then I can use it with one hand. And then there is a button, which means you have to double tap the home button. So if I double tap the home button, this will launch the one-handed mode. Moving on, we have screenshots and screen recording. So if we go in here, you can turn on the toolbar for screenshots after capturing the screenshot. So if I take a screenshot, this toolbar that shows up down here is basically the toolbar that you turn on from here, or you can turn it off. You can turn on delete after sharing, hide status and navigation bars in your screenshots. You can set it to save original screenshots, and then you can also change the format and the location where the screenshots are saved. Then we have screen recording, and in screen recording you can select the sound, whether you want to just record the media from the phone or media and mic, both. Then you can also choose video quality, 1080p, 720, 480p. Obviously based on what quality you choose, your screen recordings will use that amount of storage. You can also turn on selfie in screen recordings, and you can change the size of the selfie circle that appears on the display, And then you can also select show taps and touches when you are recording the screen, and then obviously location of your screen recordings. Moving on, we have video call effects. So if you go in video call effects, this work in all the apps that support video calling: Messenger, Google Meet, Teams, WhatsApp, Zoom, and if you have any other app installed on your phone that support this feature will appear here. And here you can select the background color, you can add background images. So when you're on a video call, you will get that small button on the display and you can tap on it and change your background. Moving on, you can also improve the brightness of your videos. If you're watching a movie on Netflix or you're watching a video on YouTube, you can select this bright feature here, and it works in almost all the apps that support video on your phone. So here's a list of all the apps. Almost all streaming services are supported here. So you can turn this feature on and you can see the difference how it will show up if you turn on the bright, or how it will show up in normal mode. And then finally we have dual messenger. So this allows you to download 2 copies of WhatsApp, Facebook and Messenger on your phone, so you can use 2 different accounts with separate contact lists for these apps. Now let's talk about some of the artificial intelligence features on Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. And if you go in advanced features and settings, the first option you will see is called advanced intelligence. So if you go in here, you will see all the AI features in one place. So let's start with the phone. So in phone, when you're on a call, you can live translate your phone call. So if you are talking to a person who's speaking in another language, it will live translate your calls. Next up, we have Samsung keyboard. Now in Samsung keyboard, you get 2 options. You can do chat translation, or you can change style and grammar. Now I have been having a lot of fun with this feature, so let's go ahead and try this out. So you can see this button here. This is the AI feature in Samsung keyboard. So you can type anything. So here you can see that I have typed out something which I guess all of us have typed out at one point in our life. But now I've got this AI feature in Samsung keyboard. I can just tap on it and I get 2 options: writing style and spelling and grammar. Now obviously if you have written a long message, you can go ahead and tap on this button and this will check for any grammar mistakes, any spelling mistakes, and you can use that. But you can then go in writing style and it will give you several options. So this is the original and this is more professional. So now you can see the professional copy of what I have written here. This is casual, this is social, polite and emojify. Then we have interpreters. So you can use advanced intelligence to translate your spoken conversations either as text or read aloud. Translations are processed on your phone. So you can go through this. You can access interpreter from your quick settings. So there you go. That's interpreter. Go through it. And now you have this interface. So you can select the language of the other person and then they speak, then you speak, and it does the interpretation live on your phone. Then we have Samsung Notes. So this will automatically format, summarize, correct, translate and generate covers for your notes. So very self-explanatory what this does. Now if I go back in notes, and here you will see that I have a note here and then there is this AI button. If I tap on it, I can auto format it. Now obviously this is not enough text to auto format, so I can summarize it. You can do spelling correction, or you can also translate it. Next up we have voice recorders. So it will transform your recordings into text transcripts and summaries that you can review and translate. So you can use this AI feature in voice recorder as well. Then we have Samsung Internet, where you can get simple summaries of web page text along with full translations. So now Samsung Internet is powered by AI as well. So you can go in summarize feature, turn this on, and if we go in Samsung Internet and we open any article on the website and tap on this button, we can summarize what's written in this article with just a tap of a button, and there we go. And then if it's in another language, you can translate it as well. One final thing that I want to show you in this advanced intelligence section is this feature here: process data only on device. Now most of this processing is done on online via your device, but you can force your phone to do all of this on the device itself, so none of your data is leaving your device. On this phone you can also set your screen time, and for that we need to go in settings and then go in digital well-being and parental controls. and here you can basically see how much time you have spent on video, on other, and on social media, your most used apps. And then we have screen time goal. So here you can select the screen time goal for yourself, that how much screen time you are using on this phone. Then you can also set app timers, so for how long you want to use a specific app each day. Moving on, we have driving monitor. So if you turn this feature on, it will help you focus on driving. It will monitor your screen time while connected to your car's Bluetooth and see which apps you're using the most. You can exclude apps such as those you use for navigation. So there is that. And then we have walking monitor. Monitor your screen time while walking and see which apps you're using the most. So this also helps you distractions while walking. So these are self monitors and self checks that you can set up for yourself to improve your driving experience and your walking, so you can reduce distractions on your phone. And then you can also select loud listening time on your phone. And finally, we have parental controls. If you give your phone to your kids, you can set up this parental control for parent, for child routine, and then you can add your restrictions. You can also manage your storage by going in device care in settings and then go in storage, and here you can see how much of data is sitting in your trash from your gallery and from your files, your unused apps, your duplicate files, and your large files. And then you can just tap on them and go through them and delete them if you want to. Then there is something called app protection. So just go in here, and here you can scan your phone, and this is powered by McAfee, and it will scan your phone for any threats, any viruses that may be installed in your phone through unknown sources, and it will let you know about any threats. So right now this is secure, no threats found. You can manually check or scan your phone whenever you want. Moving on, you can also set up your performance profile here. So go in here and you can select standard or light. The standard profile provides the recommended balance between processing speed, battery life, and cooling efficiency. If you select light, this prioritizes battery life and cooling efficiency over processing speed. So you may incur some lower or slower processing speeds if you select light performance profile. Next up, there is a way to test all the sensors and all the cameras and lights on your phone. Simply go in diagnostics, and here you can go through phone diagnostics, battery diagnostics, and even your watch diagnostics. So I've got Galaxy Watch 6. I can run diagnostics for the watch on this phone as well. So if I go in phone diagnostics, you will see a long list of features here. Now I can test them individually, or I can just tap test all, and this will test all of these features, sensors, and different features on this phone, and let you know if there is a problem or if something is not working properly. But this is a good way of analyzing your phone and running diagnostics on your phone from time to time. You can also run battery diagnostics on your phone. So right now no apps are detected using too much battery, so that's great. And finally, the last thing that I want to talk about in this section is the maintenance mode. So if you are handing over your phone for repair or anything like that, you can turn on the maintenance mode. So what will happen is that only pre-installed apps will be available. Personal data, including pictures, messages, and accounts, can be accessed, and downloaded apps are hidden. You'll need to unlock your phone to turn off maintenance mode. If you are giving in your phone, your Samsung Galaxy device, for repair or anything else, just turn on the maintenance mode and no one will be able to access your private data on your phone. If you go in settings and then go in apps, you'll find this option here called choose default apps. So if you go in here, you can choose your default browser, your default caller ID and spam app, default digital assistant, home app, phone app, SMS app. So from here you can set up your default apps. Moving on, there is another section here called Samsung app settings. So you can access all Samsung apps, the pre-installed apps that you get on your Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. You can access their settings in one place. So all the Samsung apps are here. So you get all the settings in one place and you can go through them very quickly. Moving on, let's talk about some AI features in the Gallery app on Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. So let's open up a photo and tap on edit. Now I will see this button here. This is the AI button. Tap on it. Now this is a generative edit. Now, if I want to remove these cars from the road, I can tap on them and they will be selected, or I can draw around them and they will be selected. Now, I'll long press on them and press this erase button. Now they have been erased, and I'll just tap generate and they will fill the image using AI. So it's now sculpting new scenery, and boom, the cars are gone and the remaining space is being filled by AI. Press done. Now another thing you can do here is that you can tap on this AI button, and let's say your photo is crooked, you can straighten it, and now you see these empty spaces around the borders. You can tap on generate, and now this will use AI to generate these empty spaces around the photo, and let's see how this does. So you can see that it has used the data from the photo to fill these borders. Moving on, you can also remove shadows from these photos. So for example, we have this shadow here in this photo. On the photo, tap on this I button and it will give me options itself. So now I will tap erase shadows and it will analyze the shadows itself, and it's gone. It does a pretty good job of erasing these shadows. Now you can save the photo as it, or you can save it as a copy as well. Next up, you can also remove background from any photo by long pressing on the photo and holding it, and it will then separate the object from its background. Now you can save it as a separate image, or you can long press on it and save it as a sticker as well. Now another really cool feature that they have added here is tap to slow down any video. So if you tap on any video, it will slow it down. Next up, you can also add background blur after the fact. So simply tap on the I button, and if it's a portrait, this option will appear here, background blur. Tap on it and this will add background blur using AI, and then you can obviously choose the strength of this background blur in your photos and then press save.